What's good, everybody? Alex here, back again with another video. Thank you as always for tuning into the channel. A little bit of a different setup today. I'm showing y'all a little bit more of the crib than I usually do. I'm actually at work right now, but we had some free time and I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and take advantage of this and just go ahead and put out a video right quick. Today I'm going to be giving y'all 5 reasons why every young man should live on his own at least once during his lifetime. Young man can be relative. You could be 18, 19, but you could also be 30, 35, 40. Maybe you just building your life up and getting your life together and you finally at that point where you can move out of whatever situation you're in. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Number 1, y'all. The first thing you learn about living by yourself is that you learn who you truly are. And I guess that's a cliche thing to say because for however old you are, all you've done is be with yourself that entire time. But have you ever actually been alone with yourself before? Have you ever actually had to sit down, or especially during cases like this with the pandemic for some people who live alone like I do, for example, have you ever actually taken the time to truly be by yourself and actually just have you, yourself, and I just around you with nothing else? No distractions, no people trying to come over all the time, no sneaky links or just people trying to go ahead and invade your space. Have you ever truly just rocked by yourself for an extended period of time? Well, if you haven't done so already, living by yourself does give you an option to go ahead and do that. Now, obviously, I'm not saying you don't have fun, you don't have people come over, you don't do your thing, but at the same time, you just spend way more time alone naturally than you would if you did have roommates or if you lived with a significant other, or you live with your parents, whatever the case may be. It's just different. It's just the truth. And I'm sure everybody who's lived on their own can go ahead and attest to this. Number 2, you learn financial discipline. Now, this is something that a lot of people struggle with just because in school, we don't really talk about financial discipline. It's not something that's really taught in the system. We all know we should have good credit and to pay our bills on time, but nobody truly knows what that means. You can go ahead and run up a credit card that has $5, $10, $15, $20,000 like that without understanding how much you need to pay and in what amount of time you need to pay them, and that you can't just make minimum payments on that or else you're never going to pay it off. So financial discipline has been big. Now, I've always been a person who's been good with financial discipline, but with this being my first time living on my own, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I didn't really factor in just how expensive everything is. I'm used to living with roommates or living with a significant other or just living at my mom's house for that matter. So for me to go ahead and finally understand like, yo, I gotta go ahead and pay for rent by myself, like I can't go half with nobody, and I gotta make sure the car note is paid, and I gotta make sure electricity, car bill, phone bill, everything else is paid and paid on time at that. You really have to learn how to budget your money. And what's helped for me is every time I get paid, I just automatically, before I do anything else, I go ahead and set money aside for which bills need to get paid. Now, I guess that goes against what a lot of people say, because a lot of people say you're supposed to pay yourself first before you do that, which I guess technically is true. And maybe I'll try to implement that in the future, but this is something that's at least worked for me so far, and I haven't had any issues as far as making late payments or being late on my bills or whatever the case may be. And I don't even make a lot of money compared to a lot of people. Like, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. Financial discipline has been good for me, just prioritizing what's important as far as, okay, maybe I want to go outside, but at the same time, I know this bill is due on Friday, which is more important. Me going outside, having temporary fun, or making sure this bill is paid. Obviously, me at least being me, I'd always go with making sure this bill is paid. I sacrifice the short-term instant gratification to make sure I got a roof over my head and I'm not in collections each month. So that's been huge, and I think that's something that a lot of people can learn from, just because I know a lot of not just millennials, but just people in general do struggle financially with money. So that's been really, really huge for me, because I didn't really realize how expensive it is just truly being on your own without getting help from somebody else. Number 3, this kind of correlates with number 1 a little bit, but that's building that connection with yourself. You know, a lot of times we do have these side distractions, you know, especially in a day and age where we have social media, we have Netflix, Hulu, all these different apps we can go on, Tinder, like you name it. We just have so many different things to go ahead and keep us occupied. But when you live on your own, at least for my experience, I found that you're able to build that inner connection. You're able to spend more time just reading books, or spend more time journaling or drawing, or just planning out what you want to accomplish for the next year. You just have a lot more time to go ahead and really dig deep and truly decide what it is that you want out of your life. What is it that you look for in yourself? What is it that you look for in other people? Where do you see yourself 2, 3, 4 years, or even just next week for that matter? It could be whatever you want it to be. But you really just learn to go within and really figure out what it is that you truly want in life in general. And that's something that I think a lot of us struggle with. I think a lot of us tend to be just lost and just kind of going from place to place, or person to person, or job to job, or party to party. Like, you name it, we just go from one thing to the other, to the other, to the next thing, and we're all just drifting with no real purpose, no real sense of direction with where it is that we're going or what we want to accomplish. Number 4, and this is huge, especially for us men, especially as young men, but just in general, you really have to have this down. Show that you can provide for yourself. Not only that you can provide for yourself first and foremost, but to go ahead and show somebody else, if you are in the dating world or on the market, you know, I can go ahead and take care of me, and eventually, and I don't want to say take care of you, because you don't need to simp, bro. So don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying go out there and just find the first girl you see. Hey, I have my own apartment, I have my own house, I can go ahead and take care of you too, my baby. Like, nah, bro. Don't do that. But this is at least showing to yourself and to other people, hey, this person is responsible, this person is mature, this person handles his business, he does pay his rent on time, he does have good credit, he has a good foundation, he doesn't need mommy to go ahead and cook his food. Like, he can survive on his own, which is huge. And people respect that. Not just the opposite sex, but people of the same sex really do respect, like, yo, bro, I see you out here doing your thing, I see you getting by, I see you're showing that you can make it on your own. And for me, who's someone who in the past has sucked with like cooking and just sucked with just doing housework and getting the job done on my own, I was before used to kind of relying on other people to go ahead and get that done. But now, since living on my own, I kind of have no choice but to go ahead and do everything on my own now. And so far, I haven't burnt down the house, like no crazy accidents. Like, I've been doing pretty decent. So I'm proud of myself. And that's something that you can go ahead and look back on as well, especially if it is your first time moving out or living on your own. It's like, oh wow, like I showed I actually can make it on my own. Like, I legit can do this. Like, and you feel good. You feel good knowing that you could be an adult and handle business. That sounds kind of weird saying it out loud, because obviously as an adult, like, this is all just laying the foundation. This is something that every single person should have done, but unfortunately, a lot of people just don't have that done. Like, let's just call it what it is. And the last thing, number 5, probably the most fun trait of them all, the freedom to do whatever you want, y'all. If you don't want to wake up until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you can do that. You want to walk around the house naked, you can do that. You want to binge watch Netflix all day, all night, you can do that. You want to have shorty come over at 2 o'clock, shorty come over at 6 o'clock, different shorty come over at 10 o'clock. Have your rotation coming in and out. If that's what you do, bruh, you can go ahead and do that. I ain't saying that that's what y'all do. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what I do, because y'all know I'm a saint. Like, I can never do something like that. You know, I'm just perfect. No, I'm just playing. But just having the freedom to know that you can do whatever you want at any time. Nobody can tell you what to do. It's your crib. If you want somebody to leave, they have to leave. If you want someone to come over, well, they don't have to come over, I guess. They still have a choice. But just knowing that you have your own place and can do whatever you want is just the coolest thing in the world. You can throw parties if you wanted to. You could have book clubs if you wanted to. You could have game nights if you wanted to. You could record YouTube videos if you wanted to. Like, just having the freedom, like, I'm at home, but nobody can tell me what to do. Like, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now. If I wanted to just, well, I can't just leave work technically and just go for a drive. So that's not really a good example. But if I wanted to go ahead and do something, I could pretty much do it for the most part, bro. And that's a good feeling to have, is just knowing that I can wake up, cook whatever I want, listen to whatever music I want, call whoever I want to, and just do whatever. So with that being said, I hope that this encourages some people to go ahead and move out on their own for the first time, maybe in 2022 if they haven't done so already, or if they have, maybe just do it again. Get your life going on track, or if it's already on track, just keep it going even more and build that momentum up even more. So I just wanted to go ahead and make a quick video for y'all today. Hope you guys did like this. If you did enjoy it, feel free to go ahead and comment, leave a like, obviously, subscribe if you're new. And until next time, it's Alex. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.